They said in the Epstein files the reason that they didn't want little black girls there wasn't just because of racism. It was because black girls black girls fight too much. And it's not funny because that doesn't negate what happened to them other kids. But all I can think about, me, Shanice, in the sixth grade, fighting in the cafeteria, getting busy, getting down. Do you understand me? Dragging the English teacher with us. I mean, it was make, she make, I make, we and each other, we make. Dragging a 40-plus-year-old woman down.
Jeffrey Epstein decided that brown girls were not an option on his island or in his little alleged ring of prostitution and ex trafficking. As far as I'm concerned, it is interesting to me that decision was made because I feel like African American women specifically are preyed on as the victim in most of these trafficking ordeals. And I want to know why that decision was made. Now, logically, I also would like to know why he even felt like a whole trafficking ring was something that he should have stepped foot into. But I'm wondering, why was he so selective? And then the other thing that was rather interesting to me was that, I do understand the whole bait them while they're young, program them, and then control them. But the other thing that kind of confused me was when they aged out. However, I guess there are sick people in this world who target their interest is targeted to a certain age group, which is very disgusting regardless. But this Jeffrey Epstein situation, these files and all this other stuff, I finally did some research and I found out that he was like a money man. So he did like taxes and provided tax consultation and direction for millionaires. And he taught them how to make money and what to do with his money and blah, 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 blah. And so that is why so many of these billionaires and entertainers and famous people or people attached to multi-million-dollar companies were attached to him. Now, the gray area is that some of these people, well, let's take a step back. I think he baited some of those people into a relationship with him.
The only reason why there was not black people on that Epstein list is because they consumed them.
Imagine Jeffrey Epstein did not want J. Cole on him.
I think I realized why so many celebrities were loud about ICE and immigration, but silent on the Epstein files. And stay with me, because it's going to take a little bit for me to walk through this. One of the biggest, byproducts of illegal immigration that we don't often talk about is the trafficking, the human trafficking. This is when a lot of parents will, go to the border and pay cartel or coyote members to take their children across the border, claiming to be their parents. We have no idea. Once they get to the border, we have no idea of validating if they're their parents or not. And sometimes these kids are released to people who are not their parents. How many kids does this happen with? I've seen numbers as low as 100,000. I've seen numbers as high as 450,000 children. As of July of 2025, the Trump administration had claimed that they found 25,000 kids that were unaccounted for with the help of local and state law enforcement. And as of, I think, a few days ago, they said that number had risen to about 125,000 children that were just unaccounted for, but now they have verified and they know where they are. These celebrities are mad about ICE and immigration, not for the same reasons that you are. You're mad because you're a good person, right? Americans are very sympathetic, probably the most sympathetic people in the world. You see videos of children being separated from parents, of maybe a wife crying because she sees her husband, and you're not a monster, and so you feel for them, which I would hope we all do, right? But these celebrities are not mad for the same reason. They are mad because ICE and immigration are disrupting their flow of victims. That's why they're upset. They're upset because they no longer have the victims or the people that control them, right? Maybe it's not the celebrity themselves, the people that control them and tell them what to say.
So, as of today, there hasn't been black victims in the Epstein files. Have there been black celebrities, black people on the logs? Yes. Has there been any damning evidence towards them? Not yet, right? So they're not free. But as of now, there's been no black female victims, and here's insight on why.
Black girls allowed on Epstein Island? Here's why. Jeff gave in at some point and told him, yes, I'll find some friends. Jeff wanted young, fresh girls, virgins. He told, don't bring me any words. Never ever brought any friends. At this point in the interview.
So this is somebody named Jeff talking to one of the recruiters. I don't know if you guys remember, but one of those girls, after she was taken advantage of, she didn't want it to happen anymore. So she started to just recruit for him. She said, I don't want him to do it to me no more. So maybe if I go recruit the other girls, he'll leave me alone. So that's what.
No black girls allowed on Epstein Island? Here's why. Jeff gave in at some point and told him, yes, I'll find some friends. Jeff wanted young, fresh girls, virgins. He told, don't bring me any N-words. Never ever brought any friends. At this point in the interview, attorney Barry advised the following. At Epstein's request, she at times met people on the beach and may have told them something to the effect of, if you want to party, go to Epstein's. Following statement.
So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm trusting that you're all doing well today. And I'm wondering, like the SpongeBob SquarePants that we grew up watching was actually meant for the kids in the Epstein Island. And like I don't know how to react to this, but that is not why we are here today. On today's episode, we are going to see why some MAGA people, some white people are actually mad because the black queens are not involved in the Epstein Island, rather. If you read the Epstein files, the black queens are not involved. And I'm like, this is the first time in centuries that we were not involved in something, and we are actually very happy about it. Well, for me, I'm not taking it as some racism fact or what, because I feel like this is a divine protection. This is actually was a protection from above, because right now, if you have seen how the white people, or rather the Asian people, or rather the Hispanic people were so panicking about the ICE raiding them and asking them to go back to their country, or rather, just forcing them to move out of America, is really different on how the world is just silent about the Epstein files. And because most of the white people are involved and they won't say anything. Right now, they can all see that the black people rather, were not involved, and they didn't want to be involved. So the fact that actually, if you have gone through the files, and there's this guy who is asking, I want these people to come to the island, and then he actually said that he did not want the N-word, referring to black queens, into the island. So basically, I don't feel like we should be mad about it, because it's fine, it's okay. It's okay. Normally, in most cases, you would find that a lot of black women, or rather even black kids who are women, were taken advantage of since the beginning of time. If we trace it back from the slavery time, up to now, some of the kids, black kids, are being used as, like all those things, all those bad stuffs. But it is surprising that the world is so mad that in Epstein files, they didn't want black women, they didn't want brown women, they didn't want people of color, they didn't want us. And it's fine. You don't need to be provoked by that. If they are going to be racist about whatever things they do, and that was a bad thing, and still we look at it in any other angle. I'm like, thank you. We don't want to be there. At least black female kids were safe. And right now, America, white people speak about this thing. You guys are not speaking about it. And if I tell you, if this was including like almost 75% of black people, the world will be in chaos right now. So ladies and gentlemen, my name is Yvonne, just in case you're new here. And to my returning subscribers, thank you so much. Thank you for staying. I really appreciate this. To my new subscribers, you are welcome to being part of my online family. And please subscribe. Let me know, what do you think about black ladies not being included in the Epstein file? To me, as I said earlier, this was a divine protection. Until next time.